is Bloomberg UTV.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching All About Auto Insurance. Now, if you've ever wondered why you should be spending your hard-earned money on auto insurance year after year, you're the very person we are addressing today. We are talking about why you need auto insurance, what to look for in the best policy for you, and what such a policy can do for you. And to help us do that, we have with us today Mr. Gaurav Garg, CEO and MD at Tata AIG General Insurance, and Mr. Deepak Yohannan, CEO of MyInsuranceClub.com. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you both for joining us. Now, we might be one of the fastest growing auto markets in the world, but it's surprising how many of us neglect taking adequate insurance cover for our precious vehicles. Deepak, I'll address my first question to you. There are about 12 crore vehicles plying on Indian roads today, out of which about 3 crore are uninsured, which means that 1 in 4 vehicles do not renew their insurance policies. Now, as a motorist, what are the perils that I face if I'm out on the road without adequate cover?
Well, for one, it is a compulsory policy by law. You have to have a third-party insurance. So it's illegal. It is illegal to drive your vehicle without insurance. Second is, in case you end up actually causing damage to yourself, your vehicle, or some other property or some other vehicle, you really do not have any recourse to unless, and you'll have to go legal and then face trouble for that. So put it very briefly, you need to have a third-party insurance, and if possible, actually take a comprehensive policy which covers damage to your vehicle and other property.
Right. Now, Gaurav, the problem essentially lies in renewals in the Indian market, isn't it? Because when you're buying your vehicle, you have to compulsorily get insurance cover, but when it comes to renewals, that's where people fall back.
Well, yes, renewal is actually the choice of the customer. It is compulsory, so he should renew, but an insurance company cannot force a customer to renew. So as a practice, and even in the law, the regulatory law, is that every company is bound to send a renewal notice, and once the renewal notice is delivered, then the insured would do the renewal. Companies like ours do a very rigorous follow-up. We actually call up before the renewal, we send notices, and then if need be, we send agents or people to collect the premium. We also have a facility of renewing online. So if a person wants to get onto our website and renew online, he can do that as well.
Okay. Now, Deepak, what do you think keeps people in the Indian market from renewing cover? Is it purely a question of being too price sensitive, or is there something more to it?
Not really. It is not only a price issue. It's more of an awareness issue that, probably you need a third-party insurance for sure. I really don't see someone, having a scooter. He doesn't see value add in actually, taking an insurance, doing the process. Probably that is why he misses out. A huge percentage of people who don't do it are probably in the rural areas. In a metro, of course, there is, since I see a risk that, I might end up damaging my vehicle, I will go and buy an insurance. It is only those who really don't see too much of a risk and value, probably you avoid it. So hence, yes, it hits the industry also that, people who actually see no risk don't take it. So the numbers probably don't match up against. And that is why probably, the auto industry probably become more profitable if the entire market actually insures itself also.
Now, you also referred to third-party insurance as being quite crucial. If you can touch upon that in a bit more detail and talk our viewers through why they should be spending money on third-party insurance.
As I said, one is, by law, it is mandated, so you have to take it. Second is, suppose some mistake which you have done, you have rammed into someone else's vehicle. Now, who pays for that damage which is caused? That is what is actually covered in a third-party insurance. Basically, someone damage you have caused to some other vehicle because of a mistake of yours. Someone needs to actually go and, make full the damage which has been caused. That is done by a third-party policy.
Okay, now, the fact that there's not enough of a push is what is keeping most of the market from renewing policies. Do you think something on administrative lines, say for example a motor insurance bureau being created, would that help address things?
To a very, very large extent. Once as of authorities, of insurance companies, everyone knows that this person is floating without an insurance policy. The chances are that that person will be grabbed much faster. If let's say, there's something, beeping in his car which says that he's not insured. I'm just giving an example. then the chances are that the person won't avoid it. You know, a traffic policeman can easily spot, identify. Right now, it literally comes back to, when you stop a person, and then you check his papers, that is when you realize that he's actually not insured himself. That's a tough call. You really can't stop all vehicles in India and check whether they have an insurance or not.
Let's just head into a very quick break here. We'll come back on the other side to talk about all the various features that all these host of policies in the market offer for you and how you should navigate that maze. Stay tuned. With us we have Mr. Gaurav Garg of Tata AIG and Mr. Deepak Yohannan of MyInsuranceClub.com. What should I be looking for as a buyer of auto insurance?
Well, as a buyer of auto insurance in India, we have free pricing now. However, in the auto product, the product is still the same. So the regulator has actually mandated that this is the product which every company will sell. So now what is most important in auto insurance is that auto insurance is one line of business which has the maximum frequency of claims. So on an average, 30 to 35% of insured vehicles meet with an accident every year. So what does a consumer look for? He has got the same product he can buy from every company. There's a bit of a pricing differential, 5-10% here and there, but ultimately the moment of truth is claims. Because if 35% is the chance of claims, then what he should look at is the ability and the servicing of the company at the time of claim. And one of the reasons Deepak was also saying is the awareness factor. I want to add that it's not simply awareness, it's also the fact that people think that it's so difficult to get a claim, so why go in for the hassle of taking an insurance? So many people just, if they are conscientious, will take a third-party insurance only.
Right.
They won't take comprehensive.
All right. Okay. Let's touch upon comprehensive cover as well. Are there any situations where I don't need comprehensive cover?
Well, it is a call that the consumer has to make, because what happens is every consumer looks at the insurance premium and then says, okay, how much will I get? So can I do self-insurance? So if the vehicle is very old, then it makes sense to just go in for comprehensive insurance, because the value of the vehicle is so low that if you take go for third party insurance, because if you take a comprehensive insurance, you are not really going to get much in terms of claim. However, the premium is also low, so one has to really weigh both of these factors. But as an insurer, my advice will be that now with the free pricing, the premiums are so competitive that one should really go in for a full comprehensive cover.
Deepak, let me bring you in on this one. How do I decide what's the best policy for me? And is there a way of calculating as a consumer how much cover I need?
Best as a rule, go in for comprehensive. Don't think twice about it. If you're really hard pressed for money, that is the only option you should actually evaluate third party. And as he said, if the value of the vehicle is so low, then probably it could be an option of not going. But then, as you said, the premium is also very low. So always, as a rule, I would recommend going for a comprehensive policy itself. If you want to check what is the amount of coverage, that is largely decided by the price of the car. You can't really take a call as to how much you want to take insurance for. It is dependent on the price of the car, which is mostly what is the market price of the vehicle at that point of time.
Now, zero depreciation, another one of those things that, seems quite attractive on paper. Any flip side to that one?
No, I don't think so. In fact, we are very proud to say that we were the first company which actually brought in all these add-on covers, which is like zero depreciation, new for old, and daily allowance and those kinds of. But there is no catch to it. It is as clear as it sounds. So if you actually buy a zero depreciation cover or a no claim bonus protection cover, that's what it is.
Okay, Deepak, would you agree with that one? According to you, does zero depreciation have
I think it's a great feature to have, and I think it's a great phenomenon of a great innovation which is done, and a lot of other companies are actually now copying it and having it. It's a great thing to have.
Okay, what about the second-hand car market? That obviously is a huge market, especially when you come to the premium segment as well. There's a lot of people whose first luxury car would probably be a second-hand car. So what kind of products are out there in the market for that one?
I think standard product, whether it's a new car or a second-hand car, all that varies is the premium which is there, and that is a function of a number of years that it has been on the roads. So apart from that, there is nearly no difference in the type of policy which is available.
All right.
And I would just like to add on, what consumers should be really careful about is, there are some players who would probably drop the value of the car to give you a lower premium. That is something which as a consumer you should be very careful. Suppose you're bargaining, haggling for a price, and someone is offering you a 1,000 rupee discount. you look at the premium and you compare both and you say, okay, this is cheaper, let me take it. But probably what he's done is he's dropped the value of your car.
Right.
So in case your car gets stolen, you actually get a much lesser value
All right.
by actually having paid 1,000 rupees less.
Okay,
Bad
on
deal.
that note, let's just head into another break.